When is teacher happy with the students? When the students learn whatever is being taught well, they practice it, they make it a part and parcel of their very existence, then the teacher is not troubled. Otherwise, the teachings given by the teacher, if not practiced by the students properly, it's a trouble to the teacher. And while beginning these studies, I told our students and everybody who was around, Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu is all fine. But make sure that whatever I am teaching, learn it well, practice it, experience it. And then Maha Vidvishavahi will happen. Then that teaching will help you to become a better person. And I will find fulfillment as a teacher for having taught you the truths of the Upanishads. And today, as Bhuvana was saying, that the children who have spoken, they are from medical schools. They are not Vedanta students in the technical sense. They are medical students or doing their pre-university studies over here. But with the clarity and conviction with which they have spoken, Bhuvana remarked that Swami must be really proud of them today. But truth is that today I am feeling proud of myself, that I have such good students. That is the teacher's joy. Such good students who have taken these teachings to their heart, and then they have practiced it. They have experienced the truth behind these teachings. You can easily make out when somebody speaks from the experience and somebody who speaks only from the intellect. They have experienced the importance of these teachings. See, that is the first part of the youth meet. The sadhana or the spirituality part of the youth meet, where you have to know these truths for yourself. And you have to digest it, assimilate it, and enjoy it, experience it. And when you experience it, what happens to you? When you realize that these great truths of Upanishads, what happened to you? It says, Anandam Brahmano Vidvan na bibheti kutaschaneti. Once you realize this bliss that comes from the spiritual experience, you will never be afraid of anything or anyone. When I say spirituality is fearlessness, abhihi, 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 our Upanishads extol people. Be fearless, be fearless. That fearlessness is the key to turn all spirituality into service. We don't serve because we are afraid. You analyze it a little deeply and you will realize it. What would others say? What would others think? Or if I serve, whether people would like it, people won't like it, whether it will be appreciated as I want or not, and the ego, doership, all that kartritva bhava, bhoktritva bhava that accompanies this like a shadow. There are many fears. What if I give away? What will happen to me tomorrow? I can spend that time studying something, earning a little more, or resting and relaxing. I can spend that energy entertaining myself instead of going and doing something. All kinds of fear or apprehensions, they surround us when we embark on the path of service. And that is why it is said, Shurasya dhara nishita duratya. It's a difficult path. This path of spirituality and service is a difficult path. You're not saying it is easy. Sometimes the youth write to me, Swami, we want to do service. So many obstacles come only when we are trying to do good. Why is it that we have to face so many challenges within and without? And I tell them, when did I say it is an easy path? Going down the hill is easy. Climbing and conquering the peak is difficult. And you are evolving, you are growing up, and therefore it is difficult. Durgam pathastat kavayo vadanti. The ones who have walked on this path, they have told, this path is a difficult path. It's not for everyone. But you have chosen to walk this path. As the youths here and all around the world, you have chosen to walk this path consciously. So be ready to accept the challenges also that come in this path. And be ready to work towards it and conquer these challenges, come out successful. But to conquer these challenges in service, spirituality gives us the necessary strength. It gives us all the courage, conviction, clarity, and commitment to continue serving. Otherwise, service that starts like a soda bubble inspiration after a discourse of mine won't last long unless it is driven from within. Such beautiful exposition of the values, Satya Dharma Shanti Prema Ahimsa, by our professor. He said, love is not something that is forced upon you. It is an inner thing. It has to come from within, and that will propel you to do good. And this love for all mankind will come only when you realize yourself. No other way. It's not possible. Sarvabhuteshu chatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani. I am in all and all are in me. Unless we realize this Vedic truth, it's not possible to love everyone. It's not possible to serve everyone. Therefore, when you say spirituality and service, this realization of oneness, ekam eva advitiyam, this realization alone can lead us to serving mankind with joy, with continuity and sustainability in service. This is possible only when we realize that we are all one. When a small speck of dust falls in our eyes, our hands automatically go there to clean the eyes. Eyes don't have to send a message to hands to help. Hands will do it naturally. Why? Because we are just a part of the same body. Likewise, when one foot is hurt, it does not have to ask another foot to take the load of the body. Automatically, the next foot starts taking the load without any complaint. Likewise, we are all limbs of the same divine being. And therefore, serving each other should be the most natural thing that should happen to us. It should not be an effort. It should be effortless. I always tell, if there is an effort, shrama, in your work, then there is no prema. There is no love there. If your service is looking like an effort to you, feels like an effort to you, know for sure that you are not doing it right. Something is not right there. But when we realize we are joyful, eko vashi sarva bhutantaratma, ekam rupa bahudhayat karoti, Upanishad says, there is only one who controls everything. And he, that one, became many. Bahudhayat karoti. That he has made that many that we see. And tamatmastam yena nupashyanti dhira. That discriminating one who realizes this oneness within, atmastam, tesham sukham shashvatam, netaresham, says the Upanishad. To them alone joy of service, joy of existence comes, who realize that we are all one in that consciousness. Otherwise, you cannot go too far on the path of service. It's not possible. He said, how Swami can go on doing what he does is because he realizes that everything is one. Therefore, love is the most natural outcome of such a realization. And it naturally translates, effortlessly translates into service to all. So the theme of the youth meet has been chosen very carefully. It's not just about engaging your bodies in some kind of activity of service or contributing through your knowledge and skills, but it is the idea of the self that we must see in all. And that alone can help us do service in the true sense. When there is no giver and there is no receiver. Both are one in service. We don't do it out of pity, out of compassion for others, but we do simply because we share that same existence, that love. And that is the idea of service driven by spirituality and not by self-aggrandizement or some kind of a public publicity or show, exhibitionism. This service in the purest sense is possible only when we realize that we are all one. And there's no effort then. Effortlessly it should go on. That is the idea. I thought of telling many things, but after having heard all these children speak and all the elders having spoken after that, for the first time I'm feeling that the time has come for me not to speak too much because now my spokespersons are ready. They will speak on my behalf to the rest of the world. And I'm sure today we had only the sample of the kind of youths that are getting ready for the coming times. But all around the world, they all have taken this teaching to their hearts. They have put sincere effort. I'm aware of it. And with that now, with a different perspective, a new perspective, they're embarking on the same journey. And suddenly you will see the journey looks different. The road is the same. You are also the same. But suddenly your vision, your perspective has changed. And that is the shift that I am seeing in our children, our elders, and all around the world, all devotees, they are going through this kind of a change. And that is very important for me. Outside we can engage in as many activities as possible. That is Chittasya Shuddhaya, only to purify our heart. He told from the Vedanta Dindima, he said, only to purify our mind we need to do service or action. Ekagryatam upasana, to keep our minds focused and not let it deviate, we have to do worship and engage in some kind of meditation, other activity. But mokshartam, if you want to realize yourself, Brahma Vijnanam, only by realizing this one truth, that everything, everyone is one and the same, can we really live our life in the truest sense. Otherwise, we are merely existing. We don't live, we don't thrive. That happens when we realize that we are all one. What more can I say than to give blessings to all of you, that may you take these great lofty teachings of Vedanta, spirituality, to your heart, make it a part and parcel of your life, make it a living experience, an everyday, every moment experience of your life, and see how life will become so beautiful, so light, so full of love, so full of energy, so full of enthusiasm. Service will become a natural, spontaneous, effortless outcome of this realization. Mundaka Upanishad says, those who realize themselves, they don't hide in caves. They are super active. They tell, prano hi esha sarva bhutair vibhati. The one who realizes the same self, prana, is in all. What happens to him? He says that person becomes nativadi, doesn't speak too much, because the experience is so overwhelming. And more importantly, Atma Krida, Atma Ratih Kriyavan. The quality of that person is, he becomes so full of joy within himself or herself. They are completely absorbed in sporting within themselves. When they close their eyes, when they open their eyes, they see the same self in everyone. And then they become Kriyavan, they become full of activity. They engage themselves in contributing productive, positive activity for the society. Not selfish anymore, but selflessly they live for others' sake. That is the way spirituality supports service, and service is a natural outcome of spirituality then. We'll say service without spirituality is blind. Spirituality without service is lame. One without the other cannot go any far. A blind man can walk but does not know where it's going. So service can happen but not with the right way, right attitude, without spirituality. Similarly, one can be very spiritual, can quote from scriptures, can talk from great Upanishads, but at the end of it, if it doesn't engage in the upliftment of the downtrodden, to help the poor and the needy, to love their fellow men, such spirituality is of no use. It's like lame, it doesn't move. Therefore, both of them, like the two wings of the bird, as the boy said, or the 2 feet that we require to walk, 2 eyes that we need to see, 2 ears that we need to hear, likewise, both of them should be part of our lives in equal sense. In tomorrow and day after, we will get more opportunity to interact with everyone. And I'm sure we are going to listen to many more inspirational talks from the youth around the world who have done phenomenal service even in these pandemic times. So you have to overcome your fearlessness, isn't it, if you want to go out in these corona times and serve. If you put on the mask or use the sanitizers and do whatever distancing you can, at the end of it, if you go out in the open, you are prone to infections. You are susceptible to infection. But many of these youths have taking all the precautions, have been fearlessly serving those who were in need, whether it is in India, whether it is in other countries abroad. I am aware of all of it. See, that is what I said. Spirituality is fearlessness. If you had fear, what will happen to me? What will happen to me? Then how can you even serve anybody? When you become fearless, you become truly a servant of society. And that fearlessness is the gift of spirituality. So the truth of youth of this world, and to all our students who are here and those who are watching us live right now, I convey my most heartfelt appreciation for all the efforts they have put and blessings that they will continue to do so as far as it lies in them, that they should lead their lives spiritually and engage in selfless service every waking moment. To the organizers of the World Youth Meet in these times and all the people who are participating, I convey my special blessings, and I look forward to seeing them online or inline in the near future, because that's very important that the youth of the world have to be inspired. They alone, they are the most of the world. They are 50% of the world is people who are young. And therefore, it is very important for us to teach them the right things at the right time. It will have the right results in times to come. We have a small musical evening today, an orchestra. First time our children have picked up stringed instruments, like our Paganini's strings. But they have all the 4 strings working. I hope Dimitris has not tuned them too. So the children have picked up these orchestra instruments. For the first time they are performing. And in these times when they couldn't come and practice much, very intermittent practices with that, they are performing today. And we must all encourage them. A lot of them are very young, tiny boys. And some of them have just joined the institutions. But they wanted to do something for Swami's birthday. And this is their opportunity, their way to serve, their way to express their joy. Again, conveying my most heartfelt blessings to all the wonderful 4 speakers. And as I said, they're just the sample. If I pull out anybody from the crowd here, I'm very, very sure and confident that they will deliver equally good or even better speech. Each of the child here is so very good at it. And they have learned sincerely. And Narsimurti is right in his thinking that this generation which is coming up now is going to go far. Definitely do much more. If they have done well, these people will definitely do better, is my faith and conviction in the youth of the world today. And I'm sure the golden age that we talk about has arrived as you and me, in you and me. And we will all witness this in coming times, that how the world transforms into a beautiful place where each lives for the other and all live for God, all live in God, all live as God. That is the future we are looking at. Very happy.